You know, when I started watching this movie, I was in such a good mood. I really was. Okay, hold on.
We're back and we're afraid.
Hello. So now we're Lonnie.
Yes, my film is Beau Is Afraid, written and directed by Ari Aster.
And I'm afraid to watch this trailer.
Yeah.
I am so sorry for what your daddy passed down to you. But I wanted a child, the greatest gift of my life.
I'm visiting my mother tomorrow.
Hi, Carrot. It's Mom. I'm just calling to say that I'm so excited to see you tomorrow. You're my angel, and I love you.
The visuals.
Okay. I love you. Okay, bye, sweetie. I love you. Are you at the airport?
I'm on my way. It's not safe, is it? What do you think I should do?
I'm sure you'll do the right thing, sweetheart.
Welcome back.
I hit you with my car.
What?
I know.
What is this?
That's my little assistant health monitor. Feeling sad about going home, Beau? Must feel totally unreal.
I'm supposed to be leaving.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
You will walk many miles. Dozens will become hundreds. Hundreds will become thousands. Your adventures will continue for years and years.
As soon as you get home.
I know.
That was BCB Girl. That's science. BCB Girl.
Amy Ryan?
No, Piper, what's her name? Piper Peekaboo?
No.
What's her name?
Best in Show.
Best in Show. Remember the BCB Girl with the dog?
Parker Posey.
Parker Posey.
Yeah.
That was Parker Posey.
I was so nice to see her in that.
Yeah.
And what a bizarre scene she had.
Yeah, right. Oh, right.
Okay. Well, the
beginning.
trailer says it all. What you see is what goes on, but I don't know what to say about this movie. This is one of the strangest films I've ever said or seen. The reason I want to see it is somebody had recommended to me because people were talking about this. Oh, it's this. And then I knew the Ari Aster. I don't know how you pronounce his name, actually. If it's Ari or Ari Aster. He had directed Midsummer, which I was not a fan of.
And Hereditary.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen Hereditary, but you're the horror.
Don't.
But they somehow build this as a horror suspense comedy.
Tragic.
Exactly.
Tragedy.
And I thought, okay, it has so many of these things attached to it. Let me sit down and watch it. And it's not so I can just sit down once and watch it. It took me 3 times to get through this movie.
Oh my God.
It is a 3-hour long movie. All I can say is it starts off, as you see Joaquin Phoenix and seeing a therapist saying, yes, I'm going to go visit my mother. It's the anniversary of his father's death, so he feels obligated to visit her. Apparently, he and his mother have an odd relationship because she's so excited to see him, but you could tell he's not excited to go on this trip. But you also realize he's just filled with fear and anxiety. And I'm assuming depression as well. I have no idea. But if you watch the opening, I tell people it foreshadows what you're going to see in the movie, because after he's sent home, he gets new meds, he's sent home. Just to get into his building, he has to make this wild dash into the door before these weird psycho street people attack him. And I thought, where is he living? I don't have a clue. I still don't even know where it takes place. But then mother calls, you hear her on the phone. She's excited to see him. So he says he's going to get a good night's sleep, get up, go to the airport. Well, he goes to bed early. He can't sleep because of certain reasons. That's just sort of strange. People accusing him of playing loud music and knocking on his door and waking him up. Then he gets up. He's sort of frazzled, but he gets a suitcase, going to go out the door, sort of forgets something, and then realize, oh, he left his keys in his door. By the time he comes back, they're gone. Again, paranoia sits into him, so he's afraid to leave. And he actually, the biggest fear I can see is he has to call his mother to tell him what has happened. And what's very telling is he says to her, what do you want me to do? Because she sort of knows he's not coming now. And his mother, who just sounds so excited to see him, just becomes very cold. So he then decides, okay, what's going to happen? He goes out because of his meds. He needs water. He gets locked because he doesn't have his keys. He gets locked out of his apartment building. And this is when the adventure, quote unquote, or journey begins, in my opinion. Just a series of things happen to him. And again, you saw them in the trailer, just these wacky, weird, and I don't know what to say. I mean, he ends up in a house where it's just the most dysfunctional family you've ever seen. He has to escape them. Then he ends up in the woods with this acting troupe and sort of goes through a weird self-discovery. Then he finally makes it to his mother's house. And in the meantime, they're also flashing back to a childhood memory he has on a cruise where he sort of meets what he thought was the love of his life. Again, I was just telling them that if it makes everything everywhere all at once look like Barbie. I mean, it's so that strange that anything, I can't compare anything to it. The only thing I did compare it to is I'm thinking of ending things. In fact, you can put a little thing on top of our thing to make or link, because it's like we did that one, and that was equally bizarre, but at least I can sort of understand what was going behind it. You're watching somebody's life. Here you're watching Joaquin Phoenix's character's life go through all these things, but I leave it up to the audience, is he dead? Is this all happening in his mind? Because there's something mentally wrong with him. You don't know. In my opinion, you don't really know. I mean, but in saying that, I have to admit, all the performances are the main characters I thought were excellent. Joaquin Phoenix, I think, I was never like the greatest fan, but I always respected him as an actor, playing Johnny Cash and then Joker. And then this is yet another really great performance, I think, from him. All the little roles I really enjoyed, Patti LuPone playing his mother. Who was the other one? Parker Posey playing the grown-up version of his little crush. You saw Nathan Lane and Amy Ryan playing these people who take him into the house. Everyone is so strange, but again, and like I said, like Barbie, you think they're sort of weird, but you realize, no, in that world, in the context, they're like really doing a good job, because you understand almost what all the characters, and unfortunately I didn't write the young girl's name, but the two people playing the one girl playing the daughter, she's so startlingly good, because she is so depressed and horrified by her family life now. And then you don't understand until it gets to a point where it's like, oh, now I understand. But if you like the weird and especially if you like black comedies and you like existential experiences, see this movie. But I don't highly recommend it. Please don't take drugs while you watch this movie. You might.
You should take drugs.
You might understand it. You're like, I get it now.
George?
Yeah, I was gonna say one thing about describing this movie is you really cannot have a spoiler alert, because you don't know if it's a spoiler or not. Is it really a spoiler? I don't know. Because I was going to say a couple of things about it. I thought it could be a spoiler, but I don't know, because I could be wrong too, actually. First of all, the visuals, they were really good. I thought what they call it, a surrealist black comedy. But I don't know. I didn't see much comedy in it. That was pretty depressing. I felt sorry for Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
No, I thought this is an Oscar-winning role for him, like Joker. I mean, he's just so good in it. And, in the beginning movie, I got, even though this 3 hours long, but I got hooked right away because his neighborhood was so weird. Like, if that's one scene where he's walking, you see this guy like early, you see this guy with tattoos on his face and all tatted out and everything, and he's just standing there, and he's wearing like contacts, the black contacts, so like those, and then you see out of the blue, here comes Joaquin Phoenix, full blood running, and when the guy's waiting for him, so he runs to the apartment, the guy's chasing him, so he's just trying to make it to the apartment without getting killed. Now, so that right off the bat, like, okay, this is something weird about this one, and then somebody down sees salsa outside, and he just and like you see in the trailer, he's walking around, and there's a barbecue, there's a guy with a machine gun, checking it out, and it's just so weird. So I thought, is this going on in his head? It's this whole world. It has to be, because it just doesn't make sense. There's that one scene where he loses his keys, like you say, when he's phoning his mother. And he goes through this whole panicky scene because he takes his medication, and he reads the label and says, "Warning, must have water with it." And now he's like,
in big letters,
must have water. So he's running around trying to. When he opens the sink, there's no water in the sink. So he runs to the bodega. I'm calling it bodega because it feels like it's in New York. And he gets some water, and of course he's paying for it, but it's like less than $2, but he's going to change it. And because he lost his key, he puts a phone book at the front door of the building. And he's looking back, and all these people are going into the building. He's like, oh no. And you can see the panic. So, but then there's the one scene later where he's telling his mother that he lost his keys, and then he looks back, and the door is closed, and has the chain back. So I go, okay, this must be in his mind. There's a lot of weird scenes.
Jeez, I didn't see like that. I didn't even notice.
He looked, and then the door was closed, and he had that thing on. Kind of like when he goes in the bathtub, and there's a guy, and there you go. Mm-hmm. So the movie has so many weird things to where I go, this has to be happening in his mind. So I was going, okay, this guy is schizophrenic or something. It kept reminding me of the Fisher King. I love the scenes.
Yeah, that's what you said.
He kept getting scared. Where I took it, which I thought could be a spoiler, but it's probably not, because this movie's so weird. You don't know what a spoiler is. I thought, like, when he goes into the house too, and Nathan Lane and his wife and everything, but they're all acting so weird. I thought that wasn't really a house. I thought that was an insane asylum. And everybody in it, even the woods, when he goes into the woods.
Seemingly, it was almost meant to be a prison.
And when he goes into the woods, and all these people that he meets in the woods, like the first thing, they're all off. So I thought, and he's wearing an
ankle bracelet.
Right. When he asks the guy, what is this for? He goes, it's just to read your vitals and everything. I go, no, that's an escape thing inside asylum. So what my take on it, which he didn't think so, but what I thought, okay.
What's your take on it?
That he was in an insane asylum.
Yeah, well, I can see that.
And the whole story is in his head. That's what I thought, but I could be wrong too. So because it's such a weird movie. And then in the movie also, his mother seems so, I mean, right at the beginning, the intro of the movie you see is give birth, and you hear crying, did you drop the baby? And you see him coming out of the womb. So you go, and
very good point, because I made a note of that. It's like, oh my God, listen to his mother. She doesn't sound like a very pleasant person.
Oh yeah, exactly. Right off the bat. So and you see a lot of flashbacks of, I go, this kid, this young man, he's messed up, and it's been genetically and nature and nurture has been passed down by his mother, because she's nuts. She's the weirdest person, and she's not only she nuts and genetically passed him through the genes, the nuttiness, but she also made him afraid of everything. So it's actually it's a good movie for. I was thinking it's a great movie for my psychology students. If I was a psychology professor, study of the whole thing about mother, was Freud, and how they the power, and it just So anyways, weird. I enjoyed it, but I thought it was kind of long, the weirdness of it is what kept my interest in it. And Joaquin Phoenix, just Oscar. Here comes another Oscar.
Okay, truthfully, when I watched it, I said to George, this is 3 hours of my life I can never get back. It was like, but I reached deep inside myself, and I was like, okay, this has to mean something. Like, I like your story. I think that's great. But unfortunately, that's not the story.
Spoiler alert.
No, I think your story is great.
Yeah, right. My theory on it. Yeah.
That would have been a good story.
Yeah, it would have been great. But it's not. It's kind of like, so I looked at it like, okay, it's almost like a classic Odysseus going home, like you're trying to go home, right? And so all these obstacles are there in your way trying to go home. It's kind of like, but I don't even understand his obstacles. I mean, he is so passive about everything that I understand that his mother, see, you want to make, okay, I think this might also be like, she was like the stereotypical Jewish mother. That's to me what I saw it as, right? He had mother issues, but she herself was really terrified of everything. So she passed that on to her son. She was like, I'm afraid you dropped the baby, and I'm afraid did you hit his head? And
the fear.
Everything is like, oh my God, it's like, and so he also was afraid of everything, but I didn't understand if what he's afraid of is real or not.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In other words, is this going on or not? It was never explained. Nothing is explained. And then the last thing, because this is really, because remember, the last part, there's kind of almost like a court scene in this really weird thing. It's like the mother's lawyer almost is sitting up and saying, you did this and you did that and you did the other thing. But he just kind of accepts it, right? It's like, yeah. And then
makes you wonder if the Ari guy has the mother issues.
Yeah, I think a lot of men, and there is the famous Jewish mother, and it's kind of like I am not from that ethnicity, and I actually don't have those issues because it was very much a male thing to his mother. I found her extremely odd, because she was by herself, right? Can never figure out if the father was dead or not dead.
Yeah, but it's also maybe, okay, like I said, it might be if the father's dead, it could be a thing about men and single mothers.
Well, there's also that. There's also like, she's also very intrusive in his teenage life, right? Her relationship with him is kind of odd, like the information she wants, right? You know what I mean? Like, do you like that girl? Well, let me tell you about women, right? You know what I mean? She's like 13. It's like, it was like, I just found it really like, I'm still, okay, I'll look at it.
Processing it.
I'm processing it. Since it doesn't give me anything, everything I would process would be my own imagination.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's
it would be my own therapy.
Yeah, you left it to your own interpretation.
It's like an ink blot.
I would say you left it to your own interpretation, like my interpretation too. Like you said, that I'm thinking of ending things. It did remind me of that too. But I'm thinking of ending things. They seem to have a fulfillment.
A point.
A point.
Yes,
but this one, I was like at the end, I was like, is that it? Wait a minute, what happened?
His point was that his mother. He had a weird relationship with his mother, and I don't mean that in any lascivious way.
Yeah.
It wasn't psychological.
A psychological thing with his mother. I mean, she had a weird thing with him. Look what she did when he didn't answer the phone call with the phone call, and she's dead.
But also it talks about people with like anxiety and like a level of anxiety where like he wants out and thinks they want to kill him. And, when you have that level of anxiety, you really think you're going out and someone's going to kill you.
Well, I guess that might be true, but it never told me that. It never showed me that this wasn't happening.
Right, but I think some of the scenes like like someone like he's running around and people are shooting at him. I think I think that's probably in his mind. It is. I don't think like the cop.
And there's the word.
The cop's like, stop it! Don't make me do this. Make you do what? I'm not moving.
But what you're doing is you're forcing me to write your story. You know what I mean?
He's forcing the audience to do their own interpretation of it, which is pretty clever, actually.
No,
not from this
I'm
end.
not getting paid. It's for him to tell me the story. Anyway,
it's like bagging my own groceries at the store.
I have to say it was very interesting. I didn't stop watching it. When he was falling asleep, I was kind of still watching it because I'm like, it's like reading a murder mystery or something. You want to know who did it. What's really happening, right? It never goes there. It never goes there.
No.
It's so petty.
When I started watching this movie, I was in such a good mood. I really was. Happy. And even though the two movies I dislike the most is Hereditary and Midsummer, I didn't let that hold me back. So I started watching it. And Joaquin, he plays sadness and he plays a guy who's so lost and depends on others, especially his mother. I was hoping she was dead, right? So he'd have some freedom.
Yes.
But rolled up all in one, I just thought, he took a pill and then they just took off and he took the pill without water and now he's having hallucinations.
I thought that might be it too.
That's what I was thinking as well. Is this all in his head?
But maybe it's nothing what we're saying.
But I thought also his thing too. But
I have no theory about that after that.
It's none of these. They
My
just
second
said,
theory.
okay, he took a pill. Okay, let's just put random things in
because he
and
did,
you make up your own mind.
Because he did tantalize you with that. I'm giving you different medication. You know,
you have to take with water.
Yeah, yes, but it was different medication. So you're like, oh, maybe this is this.
Why are they
drug.
so long, Ron? Why are they so long?
Is it a spoiler to say why he needed to visit his mother?
No.
Yes,
because they
it's a
say.
father.
I said already. I said
There's no spoiler alert for this because nobody
the
knows.
anniversary
Of
his,
the father's
but I didn't get to
death.
the reason he's trying to get
Okay,
home.
I'm going to cut that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, you can. I think that's fine.
Because
I think
visiting because of also because his mother passes away, so he needs to go to the
Right,
funeral.
right.
Yeah.
My second theory in that
Did
was
she or didn't
my
she?
second
She
theory,
did not.
exactly. Well, my second theory on that was that he killed her and now he's in prison or something. He said asylum with all these weird wishes. So
See, that I
tells
can
you.
follow. But,
That was your second.
Exactly.
Anyways, yeah.
okay, I want to hear your
Interesting.
score of this.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, me, yeah. You know, it's interesting actually.
Spit it out, George.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It was. I would say that aside from the ending, I would give it a pretty good score. The ending kind of was like, wait a minute, but because Joaquin Phoenix was so good in it too, I have to give it a 8.
Oh,
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mark my words, he gets the Oscar.
No, like without being long-winded here, but if they, the same reason that I liked Oppenheimer, where you have all these different things going on and you bring it together, if he would have been able to bring it all together, then it would have been a great movie.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he did not do that work.
No.
He did not do that.
He missed that step.
So he left it for me he left me hanging.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a 6.
I'll give it a 6 too because he left me hanging and I was hung up. I was hung right after he took the pill. It was like, it's just too much work. I don't want to have to work that hard for a movie. You know what I mean?
Well, I gave it a 5 only because, and it's like, I think when I'm thinking of ending things, the same thing, it has potential to go up, but until someone explains to me the movie, I
But you
really
shouldn't
don't know
have
what
to
to make of
explain
it.
somebody's movie.
Well, no, I think sometimes, I don't get things. And so when somebody puts something in perspective, it's like, then I always said that's genius,
but
and sometimes, but
that's true.
I don't understand what this movie is trying to say.
Maybe he'll explain it in the 4-hour sequel.
But that's what I was saying about Oppenheimer is the guy is a great storyteller because he's telling a story in the movie, right? So he told a story, a complicated story, at a very confusing time.
Yeah, with lots of characters.
And he did it. He brought it to fruition. In this one, they're also telling a complicated story. I'm just not sure what it is, and I don't believe he brought it to fruition.
Yeah.
So it actually, if someone could rewrite that ending and make it kind
believable.
some purpose for all this.
Right.
I didn't understand the purpose.
If it wasn't so freaking long, I'd watch it again.
Yeah, me too.
What does it all mean?
That's true.
What does it all mean,
so
Basil?
lost. I was so
Okay.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.